Defender, number 6, Kenneth Privet. Defender, number 22, Bradley Bourgeois.
Defender, number 23, Taylor Washington. Defender, number 27, Kosuke Kimura. Midfielder, number 20, Matt Madrasa. Midfielder, number 30, Olu Anakin Yoda. Carlton Belmar.
Oh, goodness.
Number 14, Daniel Rios. Midfielder and the team captain, number 17, Michael Reed. And now, a starting 11 for head Jedi Master Stephen Glass and your ATL UTD 2. Goalkeeper, number 13, Brandon Moore. Defender, number 5, Wesley Dickas. Defender, number 6,
Did you get to see a Nashville? Did you get to see a Nashville fixed page?
Defender,
Yeah, it was the shape was right. Yeah, no worries.
Yep, no worries.
midfielder, number
Last 4 matches for Nashville SC and Atlanta United 2. Only 1 point has been gained in the standings for both sides. If things are going to change for both of these teams in the Eastern Conference, there is no try. It's only do. Star Wars Night, may the 4th be with us at 5th Third. The USL Championship on ESPN Plus is next. From Fifth Third Bank Stadium, it is the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. It is Atlanta United 2, going up against Nashville SC. Nashville SC with their third game in a row on the road. They're going to try to turn their road woes around. Atlanta United 2 coming in with a record of 3-4-1. Nashville SC coming in with a record of 3-2-2. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so this evening. And Jason, you've got two teams that definitely want to turn their fortunes around here tonight.
Nashville in the 3-5-2 again to try to do that. They've conceded 5 goals in their last 2 games. Manager Gary Smith wants to shore things up defensively. Atlanta United 2 wants to bounce back after a very difficult week last week.
With the anthem going on here, quickly, let's get into players to watch. Focusing on the flip side, it's the guy that was the spoke in the wheel up in Pittsburgh for them, with Bolo Akinyote.
Bolo Akinyote came into the lineup in Pittsburgh, getting his 4th start of the season. He's really been clicking this year. He's the player who links this 3 center back setup to the midfield, to the attack. Akinyote needs another big night tonight. They had a great night in Pittsburgh to start the match. Fell apart at the end. Akinyote was a huge part of that start. He's the safety valve against Atlanta's press. He's the one to get you out of trouble.
And on the flip side for Atlanta United 2, it's going to focus on the guy who's going to be doing kind of the same things there in the middle, and Will Vent.
Will Vent, the academy player for Atlanta United. He is the player you're trying to help. He's the one who's going to get you out of the back line. He's the one who's going to be that conductor for Atlanta's build-up play. They want Vent to get a lot of touches. They want him to build in confidence as the night goes on. He's going to be sitting in front of a young back line trying to keep things together.
Akinyote and Vent in the spot shadow. It's Atlanta United 2 and Nashville SC coming up just around the corner. Lineups, coaches, kicks, and everything else in the first 45 coming up around the corner. You're watching the USL Championship on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
And welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Alongside Jason Longshore, John Nelson. We have seen folks who have come in here tonight who have dressed for the occasion here on May the 4th. But before we get into all of that and see what the crowd looks like tonight, let's take a peek at the starting 11s. And Jason, obviously, when you look at the two teams coming up here tonight, when you look at the away side in Nashville SC, pretty similar to what we saw up in Pittsburgh last week.
Yeah, Gary Smith going back to the 3-5-2. We've watched Gary Smith teams over the years, and the 3-5-2 is kind of that safety blanket for him. It gives him a little more security in the back. The biggest change here is Justin Davis coming into the back line as one of those center backs. Davis is going to be that passer that you need. Going to press you. We know Atlanta United squads want to press. Davis is going to be key to helping Nashville deal with it.
And on the flip side, for the home side and the Stripes, when you discuss their lineup, when we look at the starting 11, what comes to mind?
We talked about Will Vent, but you look at the back line with Lawrence Wyke moving to right back. He's played some right back. He's played some center back. He's played as a defensive midfielder. Wyke is another player on the back line who's very comfortable playing out of the back.
Gary Smith, the head coach for Nashville SC, a very familiar face to those who are in the Atlanta soccer scene. And there's Gary right there at the edge of the bench.
Gary has an MLS Cup to his name as well. Not a lot of coaches in the United States can claim that one. Gary Smith led the Colorado Rapids to the 2010 MLS Cup with a number of those players with him tonight.
And on the flip side for Atlanta United 2, it is Stephen Glass in his first season here with ATO UTD 2.
Stephen Glass moving up from the academy with Atlanta United. First time managing professionals, and Stephen Glass has talked about some of the challenges that he deals with the first team playing in Kansas City tomorrow night. The roster's been in flux a little bit as decisions are made about who makes that trip. and who's available for Atlanta United 2 tonight.
So let's see what happens here. And when you look at the lineup for Atlanta United 2, you've got Romario Williams involved up top. You've got Jackson Conway involved as well. And obviously, when Steve Craig says the deuce is loose, we have to get ready for action here at the fraction.
Steve Craig's been dropping in all the Star Wars references. I was waiting on another one right there.
When we get involved here, we'll let you know what Jason thought of with the keys to the match tonight. Nashville trying to work it. Daniel Rios, and that's going to have to pay attention to the turf. Rios stutter step, tries to get something done. Defended, Campbell, chip, and in. And just like that, it was wide. I thought it went in, honestly.
It should have went in. Daniel Rios, after the slip from George Campbell, it looked like Brendan Moore actually might have gotten a touch to that and made a save.
Yep.
No corner, it's goal kick.
There's your frustration. Honestly, looking at it from the angle, I thought it went in. So that's my first error of the evening. And I'm wearing glasses, by the way.
Might need to go get a return on that one.
Well, I do have an appointment due.
There you go.
If you ask my ophthalmologist, they're looking forward to seeing me.
I think you just got a text.
Lawrence White for the Stripes. Back and forth with Captain Jack Metcalf. And Jackson Conway.
Well, let's go back to that slip from Campbell, because there is some weather in the vicinity that we could see as we get into the second half. We saw some of it earlier. The field is a little slick. You're seeing the ball skip at times. It's something that both teams are going to have to adjust to.
Rained here about 2 hours ago.
There's more coming.
So in the second half, there should be precipitation heading our way. And the whistle there from Gabriel Giusti, who's the ref tonight. Your assistants, Zeno Zhu Cho and Dallas Rogier. Your fourth official is Ben Regal. So let's see what Nashville does with it here. Settled down, but picked up by Nashville. We'll see a lot of this from Taylor Washington tonight. Lawrence White is chasing into the middle of it all, and shooing everybody away is Brendan Moore.
Nashville wants to get down the flanks with Washington and Kimura. Washington there gets around Atlanta's squad and puts in a nice ball into the 18. Atlanta has to deal with the flank play better.
Bourgeois fighting with Alessandro Castro. It's going to go all the way back. Nashville tries to get their way forward. So it'll be a throw for the Stripes here in the attacking third. There's Will Vint. Back to Wesley Dacus. Too much for him to handle. It goes out, and it's going to be a throw for Nashville SC.
Unforced errors. Atlanta United cannot have those. That was a big issue in the last week with the losses to Tampa Bay and Ottawa.
So let's see what Kosuke Kimura does here with the throw. Looking for a little help. LaGrassa was there. Sends it up and over. And back to Brendan Moore. Settled by LaGrassa. Can't be touched, so Moore will get there first. Back and forth with Brendan Moore going after Daniel Rios. And last touched by Nashville, so it'll be a Stripes throw.
Castro earns the throw with a nice little flick.
Vint turns, and he'll send it back to Brendan Moore, and that's in the net as an own goal in minute number 4. Nashville gets on the board, and the folks, the assembly watching it, smoking thighs up in Nashville, pleased with that result. Goes in the net against the Stripes.
Will Vint with the turn away from pressure and plays it with the left foot just too far for Moore. Moore might have slipped a little bit as he tries to step over to get there. Moore was trying to give Vint the straight drop. Didn't expect the ball to be played to that side, and he can't catch up. Nashville takes the early lead.
So let's see what the Stripes can do off of this. Just try to regroup and settle things down a little bit here.
Nashville's own goal in the 4th minute.
to keep an eye on Vint. He had a mistake in Ottawa, bounced back really well from it. Let's see how he shakes that one off. Miscommunication between Vint and Moore gives Nashville the early lead.
Throw in, settled down by Wyke, and he'll send it back to Moore. Belmar was chasing, goes to Dacus. Wyke, Washington on him, tries to send it through, knocked away, and it'll be a throw. Kevin Barajas, center circle over to Dacus. Vint trying to turn on Belmar. He does. Back to the back line, and they'll start it all over again. Dacus all the way over to Wyke. Metcalf and Campbell. Nobody home. Throw for Nashville SC.
Poor ball from Campbell there, trying to pick out Luis Fernando. Atlanta United 2's already shifted the formation around a bit. It's a little in flux as we speak. We'll try to catch up on that one for you guys as the half develops.
Wyke on his scooter, turns it, brings it back to Metcalf. Castro called for it. Metcalf comes into the center of the pitch, gives to Vint. Over to Luis Fernando. Back and forth with Castro. Nicely done with Vint. All the way over back to Wyke. Barajas to his right. Wyke thought about it. Back to Vint. Metcalf will set it up. Sends it over. Nicely kept in by Fernando to Alessandro Castro. LaGrassa on him. Hit the turf. And it's going to head back Nashville SC's way.
Castro slipped and then handled it while he was on the ground. Take another look at that here. Castro tries to go 1v1. Just loses his footing and it comes up off the arm.
Justin Davis, Taylor Washington. And into about the 15th row there defensively was Lawrence Wyke, but you can't keep it, so it's going to be a throw for Nashville SC.
Big tackle from Lawrence Wyke as Washington tries to get down the left.
Giusti telling Campbell to kind of calm it down a little bit. Another whistle there, so it'll be a free kick for Nashville SC.
Two hands in the back from Campbell on Rios.
So let's see what Nashville SC is thinking about here. In Pittsburgh, it was Ken Tribbett, so keep an eye on 6 in the white kits. Sent in with the right, up and over, headed clear, nicely sent out of there by Metcalf, but Belmar will track it down. Castro on him. Picked off by Romario, nicely kept in, but he can't hang on to it with all the back and forth with his own cleats, and it goes back to Nashville SC, all the way back to Connor Sparrow, who'll get rid of it.
Good pressure from Castro to force that turnover, but Romario Williams couldn't find a teammate making a run for him to keep possession.
Vint and Reed going at it. They're going to call Reed for the foul there.
So the left side, we had Jack Metcalf down as the starting left back. He's playing in the central midfield role. Looks like it's Luis Fernando playing a very attacking left back as we take another look at the foul from Reed on Vint to earn Atlanta the free kick.
Dacus with some space. Belmar tracking him. Vint and Castro. Campbell. Wyke to his right. Trying to turn was Jackson Conway. Pushed in the back, no call, and it's going to end up with Nashville SC. Rios trying to find Belmar, ends up hitting it behind him, so it'll be a throw as Luis Fernando chases after it. Nicely kept by Stephen Glass.
Luis Fernando covering a lot of ground on the left side. He's dropping in as a left back when needed, but he's also trying to push the match forward on the left. Wyke is staying more at home on the right side, assuming Stephen Glass wants to try to take advantage of that matchup with Luis Fernando against Kosuke Kimura.
Vint turns. Wyke saw Jackson Conway. Washington got a foot in the way, so it'll be a throw for the Stripes here in minute number 11. Metcalf too much for Campbell. He'll track it down though.
Passes are not connecting for Atlanta right now.
Good long bomb. Can Fernando get there? No. Good idea that time out of the back.
That's that matchup we were just talking about. Kimura trying to defend Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando has a decided speed advantage on the veteran Kimura. One of the player coaches for Nashville.
Matt Pickens, the goalkeeper, the other. Sent up the side. Kimura on the overlap, in with the right, headed clear. LaGrassa settles with the left and in. Matt LaGrassa settles it down, and as we turn minute number 12, Nashville SC has 2 on the board.
Matt LaGrassa's second goal of 2019. It's the back heel from Rios that sets everything up. Kimura's cross is half cleared, but Matt LaGrassa, one touch to settle, and then a rope beats Brendan Moore. Left-footed into the corner, no chance for Moore. Matt LaGrassa has been one of the keys for Gary Smith's Nashville SC this season, continuing some fine form.
So 2 goals in an 8-minute span. The own goal in minute number 4 as the rain starts here in Kennesaw. As we turn minute number 13, 2 goals on the board quickly for Nashville SC. Speaking of starting quickly, Will Vint started it too quickly, and they'll try it again.
Nashville has primarily been a second half kind of team in 2019. 8 of their goals coming in were scored in the second half. They didn't want to wait until the second half tonight.
They didn't want till your weather forecast came out.
They heard the forecast and they said, we better get this done early. They have so far. Let's see if Atlanta can find a response. Flip side of that is Nashville's only conceded 1 time in the first half this season. And Atlanta's going to have to do better if they want to test Connor Sparrow in goal.
And that goal was scored between the kick and minute number 15. So you're in that first third. Nashville's about to get out of it without having allowed another goal. Will Vint, nicely done there, but picked up, sent out. So it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Lawrence Wyke heading over.
Look, the way this match has went, the way these conditions are going, it's going to be down to the individual moments. That's great to see out of Will Vint after the mistake led to the opening goal. Vint takes it upon himself, jumps a lane, tries to make something happen down the right. It's going to be down to those individual moments for Atlanta United 2 to lift the squad up.
Metcalf, Castro, LaGrassa on him, Luis Fernando. In with the left, Romario looking to get there, but right on to Connor Sparrow.
And this is why Gary Smith has went to the 3 center back setup. First time we saw it this season was last week, and it was dominant against Pittsburgh. Only allowed 1 shot on goal. Things fell apart at the end with some individual mistakes, but that play right there was the prime example. You have 3 center backs dealing with the run of Romario Williams. It has to be a perfect ball to pick him out.
Taylor Washington gets a boot in the way to keep it from getting to Jackson Conway. Lawrence Wyke trying to spring Romario now. Nicely defended at the back by Tribbett. Justin Davis is there, and he'll send it forward with the left. Stays in. Lawrence Wyke will send it back on the volley. Rios tries to settle it for his own team, but it ends up back with the stripes here halfway through minute 15.
White starting to push the pace a little bit for Atlanta.
Campbell trying to turn on Rios. He does. Center circle. Romario tries to click it through. Barajas now chasing. Sparrow's got it. Barajas still going after it. Sent long with the right. Belmar trying to keep it in. He can.
Atlanta has to continue to push that pace. Nashville's not a team that really wants to play at a fast speed. Atlanta needs to quicken the pace here to try to make Nashville uncomfortable, get this lead cut in half.
Dacus. Belmar, the foul there.
Dacus took a bump as he was trying to turn the corner. No foul on the second part. Matt LaGrassa's saying, I didn't do anything. Foul was before that on Belmar as Dacus was turning.
Metcalf now on the restart to Lawrence White. A lot of room in the middle. What's he going to do with it?
Secondary run was slow to develop from Castro. Williams pulled every defender with him. No one took advantage of the space.
Dacus. Campbell almost too much there. Nicely done to regroup. Jackson Conway. Good on the turn, push in the back. You're going to get a foul there. Easy call on Justin Davis. So it'll be a set piece here halfway through minute 17.
That's a great turn from Jackson Conway. Very confident to spin Justin Davis. Davis can't run with Conway, just shoves him down. A two-man wall, Kimura and Rios. And Metcalf to take it. Watch out for Will Vint. He's in a nice little bit of space, about 25, 30 yards from goal.
Kimura directed traffic with Sparrow at first. Romario with a hand raise. Metcalf with it in. Is it too much behind it? Nashville comes down with it. Lawrence White ended up on the turf. Nashville will clear.
Excellent from Campbell to take that off the chest and keep control.
Will Vint, center circle. Metcalf back to Vint. Romario. Vint having to get back in there. And it looks like a card to Will Vint here halfway through minute 18.
Felt like a little fast to go to the yellow there. Vint was a step slow after Williams tried to lay it off to him.
A yellow card
Late.
caution has been issued by the referee to Atlanta. Number
That's going to
36,
give him a yellow
Will
card.
Vint, in the 18th minute.
Washington. Wyke. A lot of cleats in the air. Rios is saying it got hit by a hand. You're going to get the whistle by Giusti.
That was when White slipped. He caught that with the hand. White can't stay on his feet right now. Field's getting very slick.
Sent in quickly. Rios chasing, won't get there. It'll be a goal kick. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com.
Didn't come off, but that was a great look from Justin Davis to take that free kick quickly. Just a little too heavy for Rios to get on the end of.
Conway with the new aerodynamic hairstyle. We'll see how that goes. Wyke springs Conway. Got over the attempted tackle by Davis. Last touch by Davis. It'll be a deep throw for Atlanta United 2.
Justin Davis spent most of his career as a left back with Minnesota United, moving into one of the center backs here.
And they're going to call a foul on Conway as he went in after it as well, and it's going to be a card on Jackson Conway on the tackle on Taylor Washington.
Conway's late to that and he's sliding. The cards are a bit of an issue at this stage because the conditions are going to make some of these plays. That one's actually more of a yellow card than the Will Vent one, taking a second look. But the conditions, it's going to be tough for the referee to make those decisions on intent as players lose their footing and slide and have extra sliding when they go in for tackles. Have to be very careful as the night goes on.
The yellow card caution has been issued by the referee to Atlanta. Number 14, Jackson Conway.
Sparrow directing traffic here. Sends it deep with the right boot. Wyke over Washington, and it's going to stay with Nashville SC. On the throw, it ends up going over the inline as chasing was Michael Reed. It'll be a goal kick for Brendan Moore. Belmar in pursuit, pressuring Moore. Moore to Campbell. He's got Wyke, finds him, gets it back. Reed and Washington there. Moore will send it forward with the right finally toward the middle third.
Tribbett just physically bumped Williams a couple times, knocked him off of his jump, wins that way too easily.
Reed had Belmar, but Atlanta United 2's defense was there. Akinyoti sends it back and they'll reset. Tribbett and Bourgeois. Chested down. Reed. He'll do the same. LaGrassa. A lot of space for both Washington and Davis. Sprint to the corner, nicely defended by Wyke. Metcalf is there. Barajas. Big idea for a switch. Romario comes down with it despite all the jousting and the hand fighting there, but LaGrassa will get there first. And Belmar will now have it for Nashville SC as the rain picks up again.
Dacus takes it off of him. Nice defending from Wesley Dacus. It's great work from Romario Williams to bring that down and settle it, but the pass back didn't have enough juice on it.
Trying to get Romario there headed, but it'll end up back with Sparrow. Tribbett got there first, and there's Akinyoti and Bourgeois.
That's the safety valve, Akinyoti. You can play to him just to get out of trouble, create a little bit of space for yourself.
Rios springs Belmar. Dacus with the tackle attempt, doesn't get there. Belmar trying to get there. Wyke, nicely done. Luis Fernando and a whistle. This time LaGrassa will get called for the foul. They'll stick with Atlanta United 2.
Lawrence Wyke had to get that tackle right on Carlton Belmar because it was Wyke who kept him on side as everyone else had stepped up. He recovered very, very well, timed the tackle perfectly, no foul in it. Prevents Nashville from adding a third goal.
Just turned minute 24. Jackson Conway has Barajas. Davis gets there first. Action in the middle third. Romario Williams now. LaGrassa with the push. Goes to Barajas. Barajas over to Castro. Castro. Luis Fernando in with the left. Settled. Shot Barajas through traffic. Hit a couple of bodies. Good. Two, and it'll be our first Creature Comforts corner kick of the night.
That's a great look from Kevin Barajas as he drops off to the top of the 18. Takes full advantage of that one, finding him. Doesn't hit it completely cleanly, but does take a deflection, and Atlanta with the corner kick opportunity.
Settled. That was training ground material there. Metcalf didn't quite hit it as flush as he wanted it. It ends up over the bar.
Luis Fernando picked Jack Metcalf out, put it on his right boot perfectly. Metcalf just a little bit too much over the top.
Fans follow Atlanta United 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and US Open Cup. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus. Watch the championship, USL Championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPN Plus. NashvilleSports.com. Will Vint over the first joust, gets to it, sends it back to Brendan Moore. Moore has Campbell with him. Belmar chasing, got a leg in the way. Nashville SC settling down with it. Reed and Davis will just launch it forward. Brendan Moore will get there as we turn minute 26.
Conway had to let up just a little bit there as he was stepping to Justin Davis, already on the yellow card. Enough pressure to force the giveaway from Davis.
Metcalf, Campbell. Reed in pursuit there as Conway wanted it. We'll try the same passing pattern again, and Nashville comes up with it again.
Too much on it from Campbell. Williams couldn't settle.
LaGrassa tried to find Belmar just out of his reach. Luis Fernando will track it down. There's an idea. It ends up right with Connor Sparrow. So Nashville will try it again here as we head toward minute 27.
Conway had made the run to the near side for Fernando, and there was just nothing on the opposite side. Barajas had stayed at home.
Nicely done outside of the boot. Washington keeps it in. Lawrence Wyke on him. Outlet back to Davis. Sends it forward with the left. Reed is there. Tries to send it into the middle of the box, and Belmar, Luis Fernando, gets there first. Corner for Nashville SC as it hits the stripes last.
Perfectly weighted ball from Justin Davis, and that's why he's in the team tonight. In that role, he's your player who can split lines, and it's a great ball from him to start the sequence. Nashville with another corner, get all their big targets up for this one.
Akinyoti listed at 6'2". LaGrassa, a 6-footer. LaGrassa inside the 6, hanging out with Metcalf, now hanging out with Castro. Brendan Moore trying to direct a little traffic here. Davis has the option to go short. Barajas kind of coming in for a little pressure. Sent to the near post, headed and punched clear. Nicely done by Atlanta United 2 to stem the tide on that opportunity for Nashville SC.
Rios just looking for the flick on, but Moore has to punch that one clear.
And he'll grab this one. Nicely thrown to Romario Williams. Lawrence Wyke. Lot of space. Barajas asking for it. Back to Wyke, who'll have to turn right back around to get it. Washington on him. Not enough behind it there. Barajas is there. Nashville gets there first. Shouldered off. It's going to say last touch by Nashville. No foul call, no whistle, so it's going to be a quick throw, and Metcalf.
Clean from Wyke at shoulder to shoulder. See it again here. And the arm does come out just a little bit.
Romario settled with it in the box. Couldn't hang on to it, though. Akinyoti will clear. And
Tribbett with the big tackle for Nashville as Williams was bearing in on goal.
Dacus with a bit of a push in the back on Daniel Rios, and that's where the whistle comes from Giusti.
Romario Williams nearly created an opportunity for Atlanta, if not for Ken Tribbett. Former Philadelphia Union center back, found a new home in Nashville. His experience is very important for this group. He got that tackle perfectly timed on Romario Williams.
Belmar with the flick. Kimura on the overlap. Luis Fernando is with him. What's Kosuke going to do with it? Step over, work with the left, scoop it in. Brendan Moore is there. Mario tried to settle it down and turn Jackson Conway. Conway wasn't there to receive it, so Nashville SC's back with it here, minute number 30.
Reed slips but keeps possession. Kimura's pass can't find Belmar.
Vint. Romario and back to Metcalf. Barajas is available. He'll get it. And all the way over to Luis Fernando. Vint with a bit of a turn, and Romario was there. LaGrassa got there too. Belmar is sprung. Dacus on him. It'll end up being a throw as it was defended by Dacus. Belmar will toss it back in for the visitors.
That's the risk Atlanta's running with Luis Fernando on the left side. As he steps forward, Wesley Dacus has to cover a lot of ground dealing with Carlton Belmar. Gets it right that time, but Nashville always has that opportunity to dump it in down their right side.
Nice back heel to keep it in. Kimura with the drive, defended well by Vince. So it'll be another Nashville corner.
Daniel Rios, one of Nashville's Major League Soccer signings as they get ready for next season. Been so impressed with his complete game tonight. He's involved in so many different things, whether it's a little back heel to spring someone to create some space, his work off the ball. Daniel Rios is a complete striker. We know about the danger he presents inside the 18, but it's all of the other things he does to add to the squad.
Rios leads the team coming into tonight with 5 goals. Everyone else coming into the evening had only 1 apiece. Gabriela Giusti going inside the 6 to have a discussion with folks.
I think Daniel Rios might have been doing a little bit too much that time.
So it looks like it's Castro and LaGrassa, the focal point of the discussion.
Yeah, watch out for Rios here. LaGrassa is trying to be a pest right in front to create some space.
Cleared nicely by Conway. Nashville SC scooping it back in. Header off the side, and it will end up being a goal kick for the Stripes.
Designed corner there to pick out Tribbett, but Jackson Conway read it the whole way. Makes the header knowing that Tribbett's bearing down on him.
Wyke, Moore, Dacus. Looking to Castro, but Nashville SC ends up getting it. Belmar couldn't touch it. Brendan Moore can. He'll bring it back into Lawrence Wyke.
A lot of space for Wyke down the right.
Has a couple of partners with him. Gives it to Metcalf, center circle. Once again, draw a lot of space to drive. Nashville SC retreating very well as a group. Wyke sends it in. Romario couldn't get there, so it'll be Sparrow, easy grab.
That's how important those early goals are for Nashville. You can retreat all day and retreat as deep as you want with a 2-goal cushion.
Davis. Romario is on him, and they're going to call a foul there.
Williams late to that. Davis and Tribbett not happy about it.
Giusti having a discussion with Romario. No more.
That's Vent and Conway on yellows, and Romario Williams getting very close to 1.
Nicely defended there by Jackson Conway.
Didn't get any help though.
No. Campbell through Conway to Romario. Alessandro Castro is there. He hits the deck. It's going to be a set piece opportunity for Atlanta United 2 here early minute 34.
The ball was behind Castro just a bit from Williams, but it created the opportunity for Castro to draw the foul. Gets clipped as Nashville's trying to retreat. This is a good opportunity for Atlanta. It's Williams and Vent over it. I think they might have to wait a little while because the referee might have spotted something off in the distance.
And so Gabriela Giusti has given us an official weather delay. We don't know if it's lightning related or not. The big board off to our left is saying a lightning delay, but we are now in a weather delay here in minute 34. The clock stopped at 33:40 in Nashville before those 3 waves of showers came in. The own goal in the 4th minute, and 8 minutes later, Matt LaGrassa with a thunderous left, and it's been the 2 goals here on the board as the fans head to drier ground.
Atlanta United 2's
There's
really
your lightning.
struggled to just find their footing, literally and figuratively tonight. Too many mistakes early, give Nashville the early advantage, and then as the conditions are going to deteriorate, it's just easy for Nashville. They can sit deep, they don't have to risk anything. Atlanta has to invite more risk to try to find a goal and cut into this lead. That creates opportunities going the other way for Nashville. We'll see how the field holds up with the conditions. This is a great surface. It should hold up other than just being a slick track. And we'll see how long we have to wait to get back to action.
So, as always, stick and stay with us here on ESPN Plus. You got your social media to keep an eye on things there, whether it's the ATO UTD2 on Twitter, us on Twitter at Longshoe, at OSG Nelson, and at USL Championship. So we'll let you know what's going on when we know it. We are officially in a weather delay with Nashville SC leading Atlanta United 2-0. You're watching the USL Championship in a weather delay on ESPN Plus.
Before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw. It is a rain delay, it is a weather delay, it is a lightning delay here on Star Wars night. The 4th is definitely with us on the calendar. The Force is not with us to complete the first half so far as we get halfway through minute number 34, Jason, and you see what we're dealing with right now.
A lot of precipitation right now, and also a lot of lightning flashing in the sky. Let's go back to April of this season where this happened over in Birmingham. The New York Red Bulls 2 had jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Tom Barlow had scored for Red Bulls 2. That game ended up getting delayed and later rescheduled, and it will start from scratch. That is something to keep in mind here tonight. Nashville has a lead. There's a lot of storms coming through. We don't know what your cutoff time. We're not the prognosticators of the weather here, but that plays into decision making tonight. It's a little different than we had last year with Ottawa.
Yes.
Because Nashville and Atlanta, that's a little closer trip than Ottawa and Atlanta.
With Ottawa, they had to figure out when they were going to be basically in the southeastern part of the United States, and it ended up being squeezing it in with a game with Nashville to try to get something done. You come down here and you're playing 1 minute of the first half, and then you're playing the second half, and that was,
And the reason you have the new rule, and it's a new rule about the game being started over from scratch, is because of that, because of how awkward that was. We called both of those halves months apart from two different venues even, and it was very difficult to get any kind of a rhythm in that second half that was months later. Don't know if that's going to happen tonight, but that is a subplot here as Atlanta United 2 started very slowly, very poorly. Will Vent, ball back to Brendan Moore, misplayed completely. Then Atlanta just never could really get their foot on the ball, and Nashville with a 2-goal lead, they're able to just sit. That La Grassa goal gave them that cushion to where Nashville could just sit and wait for their opportunities.
So right now, it is a rain delay, a weather delay, a lightning delay. Choice D, all of the above. And then remember, once you see that flash of lightning, the clock restarts. When it comes to getting everything all squared away, when you think that the rain is past, you get that flash of lightning within the range that the little monitor has, the clock starts all over again.
Yeah,
so
it's not the rain that's going to keep us from playing, although this is a lot of rain right now.
Yes, it is.
It's the lightning.
Yes.
And we looked at the radar before we got underway.
There were a lot of colors.
Thought we might get to 8:30 before we started seeing, and it moved a little quicker, and there was a whole lot of red and yellow.
It moved about 20 minutes faster than the forecast is, and so that's what you're staring at least in the short term.
No puddles on the field.
No. And this facility has drained very well for Kennesaw State here in the past, whether it's been for their athletics or for anything that's been going on with Atlanta United. So it's this is going to be a challenge for meteorologists and prognosticators trying to figure out how quickly things are going to move through, and for television crews making sure that things continue to stay dry on nights like this, or as dry as they can, to make sure that we can get the broadcast going out. So
luckily we have a great rock DJ in Steve Craig playing Prince for us, so we're good.
Yes, so
we'll hold things down for everybody here.
So once again, keep an eye on all of your favorite social media platforms, whether it's at Longshoe for Jason, at OSG Nelson for me, at ATOUTD2 for Atlanta United, at USL Championship for the league in and of itself.
Nashville SC.
Nashville SC. Shout out to everybody there who's been watching us up there in Nashville, that 4-hour drive from here. There's been some folks who've shown up here tonight to support Nashville SC, so it's been fun to see them as well. So while that happens to a bunch of television lenses, what we're going to do is we're going to sit and wait like the rest of you. We've got some other scores going on around the USL Championship. We'll keep an eye on those games too. Rain delay, lightning delay, weather delay, choice D. We're going to take a bit of a break. We're going to come back and occasionally update you outside of social media. When we know more, we'll let you know more. So for Jason, I'm John. For the guys in the truck, for the USL Championship, you're watching us here on ESPN Plus. And keep an eye on us, and we'll keep an eye on you. We'll see you in a bit.
Nothing in our way except for
welcome back to the pitch your Atlanta United 2.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw, Georgia. And you see the man in the middle there, Gabriele Giusti. And he and the other 3 officials have been taking laps. They've been checking the turf. And we have had a lot of different things going on the pitch that we really have never seen before, that have included, Jason, leaf blowers?
Yes. Yes, there was a leaf blower on one of the puddles inside the 18.
All right, so we've seen leaf blowers, and it has been one of the more unique situations that we've seen as we've been getting ready for action here, and we're this close to a restart with the clock picking back up at 33:40.
Yeah, pump faked us a little bit. They were ready to take the free kick and then send everybody away to warm up for another minute, and now we're back. It's a dangerous free kick for Atlanta United too. If this one skips in front of Sparrow, he really doesn't know what it's going to do.
No. And both keepers made sure that folks were launching balls inside the box, inside the 6, just to see what was going to be. And you see the puddles that are there. Mario gets into it right on.
Made that one easy for Connor Sparrow. Didn't allow it to skip. You wanted to hit that and drive it and make Sparrow have to read the skip off of this wet turf. It's very inconsistent inside the 18. You've seen some balls skip. You've seen some stop. Very difficult for teams to adjust at this stage.
And the way that it's going to proceed here from 33:40 on the clock is we have a Nashville SC throw. We're going to complete the first half. Then once that is completed, then we're going to have a full halftime, then come back out for the second half. So get ready for a late night here. The action at the Fraction is going to go for a little while. Dacus back to Moore, and Moore will send it forward with the left into the splash pit that it is the middle third. And Washington with it, and he'll just send it forward. Campbell is there. Nice bounce there for Moore, and so Moore will start it up again. And it's going to be pretty much a case-by-case, possession-by-possession basis as to how this field is going to act when it comes to how the ball responds. And there's another example with it right there. Belmar with it now for Nashville, trying to spring folks forward. Nicely done by Lawrence Wyke, and they're going to call a foul, and it's going to stick with the stripes there as we're in minute 36.
Excellent work from Wyke. He takes the free kick quickly, and Metcalf blasts it down the field looking for Williams.
Romario gets there. Barajas in behind. Castro looking for the second bounce, and it's going to stick with Nashville. Once again trying to spring Belmar. Dacus will get there first.
You just can't give up on anything with the conditions like this, because there's always a good chance that the ball is just going to stop.
Metcalf looking for a little help, gets it from Barajas. And you can still hear the rain on the microphones here with the crew.
The lightning has stopped. The rain has not.
No. And the lightning will always be the indicator as to whether or not there will be further delays tonight. Meteorologist for the evening, Jason Longshore, has been keeping an eye on all of the colors of the rainbow that have been a part of everything. LaGrassa will send it forward. One in the air, and you just see the ball just die right there as Dacus won the header, but Luis Fernando has some room.
Atlanta would love to cut this lead in half before you get to the halftime break, which will be a normal halftime break.
Tribbett sends it forward. Campbell getting into the play a great deal. There's Vint. There's LaGrassa, though, for Nashville, and he'll just send it forward. Dacus And Rios is a part of it down there as well. He'll turn. Wyke is there to defend, and he'll get there to impede play. Rios didn't give up on it. Stripes had to get rid of it, and it was Barajas there. There's Metcalf trying to spin out of trouble away from Washington, and he'll just launch it forward with the right. And slipping in the middle was Jackson Conway as he saw the ball go one direction. There's Belmar again. Wyke in behind. Nicely defended by Lawrence Wyke, and he'll just try to spring Romario Williams, but back is Davis. And after he heads it, he gives it to Akinyoti. He hits the turf.
Good spin from Akinyoti there to keep possession. Atlanta recovers it again, though.
Barajas, Wyke, Campbell, Dacus. And the benefit of the rain is that it stops for Dacus and it doesn't go out, but it goes back to Moore, and Brendan Moore will try to reset. Belmar in pursuit, launching it forward with the left, but nicely done at the back. Akinyoti in the middle center circle, and the ball just dies again. That's going to be one of those spots here in the middle third that we're going to have to keep an eye on. You're going to have to kind of pursue it a little harder than you normally would, not knowing how it's going to respond.
And then when you do that and you lose footing, that's when you can have some big collisions.
Like right there. There's a whistle for you.
Now Wyke just gets dragged down as he's trying to find a pass.
Whistle on Reed, and we'll reset. And I want to get into a topic with you when we have a bit of a slowdown, because you've been through this before once already this season with Atlanta United on the road in Columbus.
A little bit warmer tonight, though, thankfully.
Yes. And I just wanted to pick your brain as to observations that you might have that would be in common with what we're seeing tonight about teams responding in ball and pursuit and those kinds of things.
Well, so far the pitch is responding much better here than it did in Columbus that night back at the end of March. That's the ones right there that just stop in the 18, and Barajas nearly creates an opportunity for Castro.
It's going to be a goal kick, though, for Connor Sparrow.
It looks like that 18 that Atlanta's attacking into right now is having more inconsistencies. As we get another look, you see the puddle. Tribbett tries to clear, gets mostly water. Barajas chases, can't get on the end of it. That's the problem with these types of situations, is you're getting those inconsistencies all over the field, where it will stop sometimes, it'll skip other times. Brendan Moore, you see him out on the edge of the 18 there, kind of waiting to see. He might have needed to clear that with his feet. He might have been able to let it roll into the 18. You just don't know. Right now, it's a lot of an extended feeling out process for both teams.
Moore closed the distance between what the ball was doing and a possible second hop, or just having the ball die inside the 18. So taking the initiative there to create an opportunity, but it goes out and it's going to stick with Nashville SC. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Atlanta United 2, then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Get reminders on the Stripes' next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club.
Good touch from Moore around the puddle to keep possession and pick out a pass.
I think you're going to have to remember that preposition for the rest of the evening. Goes over the in line, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Well, Nashville's in the driver's seat here. They have the lead. They don't have to risk anything. They can put numbers behind the ball and just play it long and let Daniel Rios go chase things down and see if he can find anything. And he has Carlton Belmar's speed to run off of him. It's a pretty easy second half ahead for Nashville SC in that regard. Now for Atlanta United too, you've got to try to create some chances and build up some play on a field that is very difficult to connect passes on right now.
Will Vint and Jack Metcalf having a conversation after that pass went awry. LaGrassa sends it forward. Luis Fernando backtracking. As you see Dacus on Belmar. And back to Brendan Moore, and they'll start it over.
I mean, as the night goes on, you're not going to see Kosuke Kimura and Taylor Washington extend themselves very far. There's no need to. Sit back in a line of 5 and just wait for Atlanta to play long.
Bourgeois started that particular possession, flags up.
Daniel Rios just a step too early there. See If Atlanta can find some space down the right.
Metcalf had Barajas with him, banking on the turf, slowing it down, and Romario Williams had an idea, but not enough space to do it. He ends up in the inboards. It's going to be a goal kick.
That time the turf really didn't slow that one down. It kept skipping. It's a good look from Jack Metcalf playing Romario Williams in. He gets a shot. It's off the back of the side netting. Doesn't test Connor Sparrow.
Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLChampionship.com. Nashville still hanging out in the top 12 in the Power Rankings. Atlanta United 2 hanging out in the mid-20s here in the league coming into this week. Chipped forward, but out of play, so it's going to be a stripes throw right at the center line. Jack Metcalf as we turn minute number 44. Foul on Romario over the back of Akinyoti.
Take another look here as Nashville's about to take their free kick. Romario Williams was on that yellow card tightrope before the weather delay. Not sure how much of that is still fresh in the mind, though. Some of the challenges when you have an extended delay like we did.
Wyke and Metcalf, and Jack Metcalf will just send it with the right. Barajas now trying to flick it forward to try to spring Romario. Can't do it. Center circle. LaGrassa and Vint go up. LaGrassa stays down, and a push by Michael Reed. And Reed will have none of what Lawrence Wyke is trying to do with him there, center circle. With LaGrassa down, Reed, who's wearing the captain's armband, he's having a bit of a discussion with Gabriella Giusti about it.
But that's where Giusti has to be firm, and he was quickly getting in the way of Michael Reed, not allowing him to stand over the Atlanta player Wyke and talk about the play he did not like. Will Vint came in from behind on that collision, and now we have the stretcher coming out for a Nashville player who's down. Reed shoved Wyke at the end of it and said that he went down rather easily as LaGrassa tries to get back up. Looks like he's holding right under his eyes, cheekbone. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, waved everybody off, so LaGrassa is going to have a little bit of what's inside the bottle there, and he's going to go ahead and continue here. We're heading toward the end.
Those are the important things that Giusti has to manage, though, because Michael Reed just went to Lawrence Wyke, got in his face, and Giusti's going back over to talk to Reed right now further. Reed gets in Wyke's face about going down easily, but then you see LaGrassa sit back up and everything's fine. Giusti's going to have a lot to deal with in the second half. We'll see how long the rain holds up. We'll see if the field deteriorates even more. As you start to see the game get more competitive with 45 minutes of action, collisions start happening, bad feelings start happening, and it's a lot for a referee to deal with.
So Giusti sends LaGrassa off.
Has to, because the trainer stepped on.
LaGrassa wanting to come back on. 1 minute has been added here at the end of the first 33-40, and then adding to it.
Added an additional minute, I believe.
Okay. Metcalf. Barajas. Outside of the boot, back into center circle. Campbell tells Vint to keep circling. The ball just stops right there. Dacus and Campbell again. And it goes right to Belmar. Belmar trying to spring Rios over the top, but Dacus is there, and he'll settle it for Vint. Vint and Wyke and Metcalf. Barajas. Washington on him. Nicely done trying to get Jackson Conway down the side, but it's too much.
Spin on that one, and the wet turf just skips it over the end line.
So Connor Sparrow, who is going to take as much of his time as he can. substantial weather delay here because of the lightning in the area, the heavy rain that came in 3 separate waves, really. And that'll do it. As Gabriella Giusti, after Akinyoti touches it, once it was reintroduced, takes an end to the first 33-40 plus weather delay plus 12 plus, and we are now at the end of the first half.
Didn't really learn a lot in that second segment other than the conditions are difficult in certain spots of the field. There's that ridge that it looks like over on the benches side of the field between the center circle and the touchline, where it looks like there's a lot of issues with the ball stopping as it hits water there. The 18s, you see puddles in the 18s. We've already seen that have an effect so far. Still rain coming down. We'll see how the field holds up.
When we come back, we'll kind of recap the first half, which had weather involvement. We had 2 goals on the board, both by the visitors. An own goal, and then 8 minutes later, Nashville SC gets 2 on the board. So far, a successful end to their road trip as they take a 2-0 lead into the intermission. You're watching the USL Championship on ESPN+. We'll be back with halftime at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw right after this.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
And welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw. As halftime has started, both teams have gone hopefully to get drier clothing and get thawed out a little bit more. And they're getting ready for the second 45 minutes. And really, what can you, I mean, you didn't learn much about that second 12, but I think that this is going to be an interesting talking to for both sides as you're getting ready to have to deal with weather and a deficit or a 2-goal lead here in the locker room.
The questions for Stephen Glass are going to revolve around what can you do to create chances. It's going to be very difficult to build up possession out of the back. That's the way Atlanta United 2 wants to play. It's hard just to connect passes. They were having difficulties connecting passes early on before the conditions deteriorated. Now it's very risky to try that. So do you get more direct? Do you get more vertical? If you do, you're probably going to want to bring on another attacking player, whether it's a Josef Samuel, which would make a lot of sense here in the second half.
There's a lot of stuff going on around the USL Championship, so let's take a peek at what's been going on here in the league. Let's take a look at Week 9 and let you get up to date on what's been going on around a very busy league.
For exclusive access and
Morton's coming up, it's headed and in.
Nodded back in, Sandoval is So is Hamilton. Loose in front. It's Freighter. What a hit. New Mexico equalized in the dying moments. It's a hat trick for Freighter. Unbelievable at the lab. Juan Pablo Capa with a direct free kick. Chips it. A goal! The equalizer for the captain.
Lomas in. Lomas! And how about North Carolina FC? Lomas with his 6th goal of the season.
Back to the goal scorer. Barnby will try again. And another.
That is absolutely world class. That is much harder than it looks to do.
Didi Traore. Oh my goodness, what a run. Didi Traore crosses. Didi Traore! It is a work of magnificence.
Like we said, a very busy USL. Let's start off with what we saw there at the beginning. Right now out west, you're seeing the teams in USL League 2 get things underway. And if I'm not mistaken, Lionsbridge start things off on the eastern side of things. But League 2 gets underway.
Yeah, it's the final piece of the USL rebrand with the USL Championship with USL League 1. And now the former PDL is USL League 2 getting underway. And we have US Open Cup action for USL League 2 teams across the country starting this week.
You have the opportunity to submit your vote for the USL Championship Player of the Month, and you saw one of the candidates, actually two of the candidates, Kevon Freighter from New Mexico United, who had the hat trick at the lab, which was really, really cool to see in that environment. Dane Kelly, Marius Loomis, Leo Fernandez, who we got to see last time out for Atlanta United 2, and Zach Lubin from Phoenix Rising FC.
Leo Fernandez was excellent. We're not going to get too much into Freighter here because we don't want to steal anything from our news and notes segment.
No.
But strong performances around the league, and there's been so many fun matches in the last couple of weeks as these USL Championship teams are starting to find their footing and round into form and start to get to know each other a little bit.
Team of the week from the Eastern Conference side of things. Goalkeeper was Curtis Anderson out of Charlotte. Ryan James in Pittsburgh was on defense, along with Aaron Gein from North Carolina FC. Russell Cicerone, who we've seen with St. Louis FC, was a part of the midfield, along with Leo Fernandez. And also on the board, you had a couple of honorable mentions, and there they go. There's your run. You've got Mishak Jerome from El Paso. You have Leo Fernandez, Russell Cicerone, Eric Williamson from Portland Timbers 2, Rodrigo da Costa out of Tulsa Roughnecks FC, Jack Barmby from San Antonio, going 63 of 70 in his passes, and their win over Tacoma Defiance. Kevon Freighter, who once again, we won't steal the end of the story there. Michael Salazar from RGV FC had a hat trick in one of the wildest games of the year to date, the 4-4 game against Los Dos. Honorable mention for Team of the Week included goalkeeper Jack Kuzminski from the Charleston Battery.
Yeah, Eric Williamson from Portland Timbers 2 has been one of the best players in the USL Championship so far this season. He'll be getting some time with the Portland Timbers in Major League Soccer very soon.
And when we come back, we'll let you know what else is going on. We have news and notes, Star Wars style, because it is Star Wars night here at the park. We'll let you know what else is going on as we get you ready for the second 45 minutes. At the break, Nashville SC leads Atlanta United 2-0. You're watching the USL Championship on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium. We'll get you ready for the second 45 minutes. But to get where we're going, we got to tell you where we've been. And when you look at the first 45 minutes, it wasn't wet to start, but it was Nashville from the start, getting those 2 goals in that 8-minute span. Let's take a peek at the highlights here from the first 45 minutes and let you see how we got to this particular moment in time. We saw Kosuke Kimura with a bit of a step over chance early that was deflected clear by Atlanta United 2. Luis Fernando and Will Vint trying to get things forward, and there's your own goal.
Will Vint trying to play it back to Brendan Moore, just complete miscommunication. Matt LaGrassa settles that, rips it with the left foot. Brendan Moore has no chance to get there Nashville has the 2-0 lead, and they have the full control of the match.
It was the own goal in the 4th minute. Then LaGrasse's rocket was in the 12th minute to make it 2-0, and that's where we are right now. As you have some folks trying to get adjusted to the turf here as we get ready for the second half. I know that we've got some stats that we can take a peek at. Those are some of the numbers. What else sticks in your mind?
Stats are really difficult to define this one because
Right.
you look at that, and if you cross out that first section of goals, you might think it's 1-1, maybe 0-0. It looks pretty even. Atlanta's had a lot of the ball. The 2 goals, and the goals are off of an individual mistake. Will Vint and Brendan Moore not on the same page. Atlanta doesn't clear their lines effectively. LaGrasse punishes them for it for the second goal. Atlanta hasn't been bad outside of those 2 bad moments. But Atlanta United 2 is learning this season that those bad moments can wreck 80, 90 minutes even of strong play.
Yeah, Will Vint, with what happened in Ottawa, you have the pass that goes into the middle that creates an opportunity, and Ottawa gets 1 goal on the board, and Atlanta United loses last time out. And it's those mistakes that come back to get you, and that's why right now you've got halftime at 2-0 for another 2-goal deficit. Now, once again, in honor of Star Wars night, I know I kind of blown the topic here, but you look at some of the topics that you have, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the league.
Well, we thought when Tampa Bay Rowdies moved into first place here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium when they beat Atlanta United 2, that they would stay in first place. They didn't. St. Louis found a way to get back on top of the Eastern Conference. We saw the highlights earlier from the New Mexico Portland Timbers 2 match. Kevon Frater's your player of the week, had the hat trick. It was his volley from the top of the 18 in stoppage time that nearly destroyed Tyler Tarrant's voice, by the way.
Yes.
But also destroyed Portland Timbers 2's chances of taking 3 points out of there. That was one of the most entertaining games I've seen in USL action ever, and especially so far this season. And you look at the Eastern Conference, and St. Louis is on top. Tampa Bay's right there. A team to look at who can make a run is Indy 11. They're in the midst of a 5-match homestand at Lucas Oil Stadium. Game 2 tonight in that homestand.
St. Louis right now on top at 5-1-2 with 17 points. Red Bulls 2 and Tampa are at 16 coming into tonight. North Carolina FC, Charleston Battery, who were down last time we checked, to Pittsburgh, are at 14. Indy 11 at 4-2 this year at 12 points. And then you had Nashville SC coming into tonight at 11 points. So that's where we are right now with just kind of taking a peek at what's going on in the East. Earlier action today, Birmingham and Memphis had a 2-2 tie, full-time Hartford and Charlotte. So the first game at Pratt & Whitney Stadium in Rentschler Field, the first home game in the history of Hartford Athletic, is a 1-1 draw with Charlotte. Also full-time, you mentioned Indy 11, and it's a goalless draw with North Carolina FC.
You have that 5-match homestand. You have to turn those matches into wins. Indy 11 can't get on the board tonight. That's the second straight scoreless draw in the midst of this 5-match homestand.
Also on the board out west, and actually let's stick in the East. Charleston was down 2-0. They come back to get 1 point, a 2-2 draw with Pittsburgh. So the Battery come back from an early first half deficit, and they end up getting 1 point out of the deal.
Huge late comeback for the Battery. 2 goals in the final 15 minutes. Zako Lewis with a penalty. Nick Daly in the 81st. And they get the draw with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh last week comes back late, scores twice on this Nashville squad to earn a point. This week, they concede 2 late. We'll see if Nashville learned anything from their experience last week.
Out west in the 73rd, El Paso leading Colorado Springs by the score of 2-0. And OKC and Tacoma tied at 1 at the half. Just so you know, because of flooding in the area, the matchup scheduled with St. Louis and Ottawa has been postponed with no makeup date yet announced. We're getting ready for the second 45 here.
The rain has picked up again as well.
So when you're looking at radar, it goes from light green to a darker green to yellow to red.
No, the yellow and red is when you're looking at your lightning and your thunder and your issues there. The darker green on a radar is going to be heavier rain. You're getting every color in the rainbow tonight on the radar.
That's why I was asking. I was trying to figure out where we were when it came to.
You're also getting a substitution for Atlanta United too. Anderson Asayadu is checked into the match here at halftime.
All right. Asayadu, 31 in the dark kits in the middle of it all for Atlanta United 2.
And Lawrence Wyke has stepped up into a midfield role. It looks like it's Vent who is out, Asayadu in. And now Metcalf is your right back. George Campbell, Wesley Dacus are your two center backs. Luis Fernando's your left back, but he's going to be looking to get forward. It's Lawrence Wyke and Anderson Asayadu in front of the back four.
Coming forward, once again, Dacus trying to get around Daniel Rios. He does, but they will keep possession, Nashville. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us and being patient and sitting through all the weather delays with us tonight. Alongside Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. As we get you ready for the second 45 minutes, Nashville SC got 2 goals early on in the 4th and the 12th, and they've held on to them from there. And that's where we are as we start the second half here in the USL Championship tonight.
Michael Reed pounces on one, but White closes him down quickly, prevents Reed from getting a shot.
LaGrassa will wind up and fire, and it ended up hitting Dacus, and it bounces back out quickly to Castro. Let's see if they can create something past Romario, and it'll go once again to Nashville, and they'll just send it down. Nobody there, and Wesley Dacus will restart.
Oh, there's no need for Nashville to try to risk anything to try to connect passes. Just play vertical.
Sayadu and Campbell.
It's a line of 5 for Nashville with Akinyode and LaGrassa sitting in front of the line of 5. Michael Reed is stepping up a little bit higher to support Belmar and Rios up top.
Kosuke Kimura meets Luis Fernando, gives to Castro. LaGrassa was on him. Akinyode and Sayadu, that's an interesting joust that we'll see here in the second half.
Akinyode's got a little bit of size on Asayadu.
And Asayadu is not backing down from Akinyode a bit.
No, he won't. No, Anderson will not back down from the words of Akinyode. Keep an eye on that one as we go in the second half.
And sent deep once again by Nashville and out, so it'll be a throw for Luis Fernando in the ATL UTD2 defensive third. LaGrassa on Asayadu. Here comes Captain Jack. Jackson Conway hit the turf. It took him a second to get back up on his feet. Once again, sent deep. Romario Williams is there playing a little deeper. Akinyode's on him. Back heel looking for Metcalf, and it got to Reed first. Washington will clear.
Just have to keep it simple there and keep the ball moving.
Substitutions for Atlanta in the 46th minute.
And LaGrassa and Reed and trying to get Belmar again. Wesley Dacus nicely done to shield.
Asayadu exiting the game.
Moore,
number 8, Kevin Barajas, and number 36, Will Vint. Once again, number 29 and number 31 replaced number 8 and 36 in the 46th minute.
Conway, Sayadu, and Metcalf. Wyke. And it actually stayed in. Campbell had to track it down before Belmar got there. And the second sub for Atlanta United 2 here in the second 45 minutes. We get our second appearance of Bienveni Kanekimana, who's now in the match.
We know about Kanekimana's speed. How effective is that going to be here in this waterlogged pitch?
Yes.
Remember, the ball many times will hold up if you just change your mindset a little bit of never giving up on that ball over the top, because that's the most likely way Atlanta United 2 is going to find an opportunity here. A ball over the top that just dies, and Kanekimana, Williams, Castro, Conway, their speed to get on the end of it.
So the 2 subs used by Stephen Glass to start the second 45 here. So Kanekimana's in for Barajas. And we saw just the absolute speed that Kanekimana has in his first match when he put in a handful of minutes last time out. Put in 20 minutes in his other appearance here for ATL UTD2. As we're wrapping up minute 50 and more. Dacus and Luis Fernando. Campbell. Metcalf. Trying to send it looking for Conway. Too much. But good pursuit there by Romario. We're going to call a foul on Romario, and it's going to come back the other way.
Williams had made himself known to the referee in the first half. Very close to picking up a yellow before we had our lightning delay. That time he goes in, exposes the bottom of his boot, the studs of his boot, just a bit as he's challenging that clearance.
So you'd say he's on a bit of a Lyman card right now?
He's been there for a minute. He had a foul before the halftime break that I thought might see a yellow. Next one, he's going in the book.
Double A back to Dacus and Luis Fernando. Castro and Campbell in a bit of a slosh pit. Let's see what he can do to get out of it. He can. Metcalf has to close ground to keep possession. Castro. Up front looking for Kanekimana, headed down. Akinyoti is there. But Metcalf comes away with it. Akinyoti tries to slide, get it again, chip into the box. Romario tries to work with it. Kimura shields nicely, sent out, but they're going to call Romario for yet another foul, and Luis Fernando had an idea, but he couldn't do anything with it because the whistle blows. Goes back to Nashville.
Late call there on Romario Williams, and the next foul did not see him pick up a yellow, and Nashville players did have a conversation with the referee about that's the third one now since we've been back in action. You'd already talked to him. Where's the card?
Sparrow sends it back in. Campbell tries to shield, but chasing is Rios. He's got to figure out what to do with it. Just gets it to Metcalf in time.
But you can't shield anything on this. You're about to go into a huge puddle. You can't shield it and wait for your goalkeeper to come out. You have to just play it.
Luis Fernando now has space. LaGrassa marking. Castro looking to have a partner. Turns. Sends it all the way back over to Metcalf. Washington on him. Like. Chips it in. Looking for either Kanekimana or Romario. Gets neither, but he does get Connor Sparrow, and it'll be another chance for Nashville to start on offense.
Playing aerial balls in for Kanekimana to try to get on the end of is a losing battle. It's not going to happen. Romario Williams is not in those spots either, so these balls through the air, Atlanta United's kind of wasting them tonight. They're going to have to play the ball over the top. When they get Nashville out like they are now, right at the midfield line, play it over the top and try to use your speed.
Metcalf into the middle over to Dacus. Seyadu comes to send it into the middle, headed out. Kimura was there. Luis Fernando ends up with it. And back out to the middle third.
Kosuke Kimura, such a smart player. One of the highest soccer IQs in the league.
Pass was too much for Metcalf as Seyadu hit the turf, and it's going to be a Nashville SC throw.
We saw Gary Smith bring Kosuke Kimura to Atlanta in 2015 in the North American Soccer League. Kind of used him as a player coach then.
Yeah.
He's officially that now, and you could definitely see him moving along with the Nashville SC organization as a coach for years to come.
Loss of control there by Nashville. Tries to send it over the top, looking for Romario to chase it down. Kimura's there backtracking, nicely done. Castro encourages Luis Fernando to get it. He does. And Stripes will try it again. Fernando with Castro.
Sent in with the left to the back post. Too much looking for Kanekimana. Washington is going to get there and let it go. It'll be a Nashville throw.
When Atlanta has looked for their crosses, they've all been too long tonight.
Washington looking for Belmar on the second ball. Retained nicely by Nashville, and they're going to try to send it deep, but it ends up being picked off. Then Rios got it, lost it. Campbell, they're going to call a foul on Rios there. Quick restart by Atlanta United 2. Luis Fernando trying to drive on LaGrassa. Gets it through Kimura, headed out, but it will be a first Creature Comforts corner kick of the second half here halfway through minute 56.
Excellent read from Tribbett.
Quickly put back in. Castro into the box, headed out. Metcalf was there. Washington comes down with it. LaGrassa has it now, but he can't do anything with it. Metcalf comes down.
Bad giveaway from LaGrassa.
Kanekimana, Conway, Wyke sends it in with the right. LaGrassa lost it. Castro blocked. Another opportunity here for the Stripes. Can they do something with it? Romario thought about it with the right, sweeps it in right on to Connor Sparrow.
Williams with the pump fake creates a window, but he can't bend it past Sparrow. Right into the breadbasket.
So Sparrow here in minute 57. Take a little bit of time to get away from Romario before he sends it down. Campbell, Rios chasing him. Keeps it in. Rios thought it went out, and there's your whistle, and it's going to be a deep throw for Nashville SC.
That's a throw for Nashville. They're going to take their time. No time to think in this one with the conditions. You just have to play and trust your instincts. George Campbell there needed to be quicker.
LaGrassa, Reed. A thought from Washington, sent in with the right, headed out by Campbell and cleared. Luis Fernando tries to come down with it, and he does control it nicely to keep it in. Castro looking to be sprung. Instead, sends it looking for Romario. Castro closes the distance again, ends up with it. Romario gets a foul on LaGrassa.
LaGrassa kind of sweeps the leg from Romario Williams, plays it quickly, catches Nashville off guard.
Castro, Wyke will launch, and wide.
Last 5 minutes have been the best Atlanta United 2 has looked all night. Quick, decisive play. Nashville's getting disconnected a little bit between their back line and Akinyode and LaGrassa. Atlanta has to take advantage.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Once again, you see Nashville not with any hurry on their cleats. Halfway through minute 59, up 2-0. The own goal in the fourth, and the goal 8 minutes later. And there's going to be a push in the back there, and it's going to come back the other way. And Campbell's going to introduce it quickly, but it's going to first get a card for Nashville SC.
Daniel Rios might have had a little something to say after the initial call. It didn't look like a yellow card was coming until the walk away from
Yellow
Rios.
card caution has been issued by the referee to Nashville. Number 14, Daniel Rios, in the 59th minute.
Atlanta bound and determined to play quickly, and the referee does not want to let them.
It's not the first time that that's happened tonight with Gabriella Giusti. Now they can play it. I think at one time in the first half we had one that had 3 restarts before it was officially a restart. Fernando and Castro. Kimura on him. Sayadu and back to Dekis. Double team. Kosuke Kimura Looking for help, sends it in with the right, headed down, right on. Nicely done, Brendan Moore off the deflection.
Deflected off of Campbell. Moore sticks with it, makes the save, tries to launch Conway.
Can Conway get to it first? Yes, he has to kind of step through puddles to get it to Washington, get it past Washington. There's Romario, and Akinyoti's on him. Having to retreat a great deal. Looks like it last went off a Reed for a throw.
Wesley Dacus caught in possession. Kosuke Kimura takes advantage, puts in a great cross. Campbell deflected the initial shot. That allowed Brendan Moore to gather it.
Turnover, backtracking. Wyke gets it back for Atlanta United 2. Campbell finds Conway, who lost it in a big puddle. Akinyoti ends up with it for Nashville. Chipped ahead, but Lawrence Wyke will reclaim. Campbell, Conway, Akinyoti again.
You can hear the Nashville bench consistently trying to keep their players synced in here. We saw this last week. Nashville dominated the match. Some would say it was their best performance of the season until the final few minutes. They don't want to see that happen tonight.
Luis Fernando slips in the water. Giusti says play advantage. Belmar clears out with a left. He loses possession with it, and it's going to go with the stripes.
Dacus tried to clear that off of Belmar, and Belmar couldn't keep it.
Sayadu, Castro, Metcalf. Trying to go for the long lead pass, looking for Romario. Romario will get there, but he can't hang on to it, so it will be a goal kick.
Romario wins the foot race, but he can't keep possession. It's an opportunity for Sparrow to waste a little bit of time here.
Fans follow Atlanta United 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and the US Open Cup and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the USL Championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Luis Fernando and Sayadu center circle, turning on Belmar. Metcalf sends it back over to the other side in Dacus. Castro. On this turf, you can't quite do that. Went for the long ball, but
you can't quite do that on any turf.
No.
Too risky from Castro.
Luis Fernando with it.
That's better.
Turns on Akinyoti. Metcalf pokes it forward. Romario tried to leave it for Wyke, but out comes Nashville SC again. Tribbett left it. And there goes Washington on a full sprint. Campbell and Dacus in the box. Tried to send it in with the left. It goes through the crease.
Campbell gets a touch. That took it away from Rios.
LaGrassa with the right. Settled, but not all the way out. Akinyoti hangs on to it. Back to Kosuke Kimura, and they'll reset. LaGrassa with a lot of room. Over to Washington. Can't hang on to it, so it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here in minute 64. Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings. You can find it only at one place, USLChampionship.com. Brendan Moore looking for a little help. Sends it forward with the left to Metcalf. Reed was on him and ends up going back to Campbell, to Wyke. Thought about turning, goes back to Brendan Moore, close to one of those puddles inside the 18. Castro tried to settle, took a big bounce off of him. Belmar looking for Rios to spring right on, nicely grabbed off of the turf, and Moore will start it up again. Wyke got under it a bit too much there. Bourgeois shouldered off by Luis Fernando. They're going to call a foul. Bring it all the way back here, halfway through minute number 65.
Giusti encouraging Bourgeois here to start things up.
Might have been more than an encouragement.
Wyke and Akinyoti going after it. Akinyoti gets there first. Nicely done by Wyke, but it ends up heading back to Reed. We'll backtrack to Justin Davis. Nicely defended there. It ends up in Atlanta United 2's possession, trying to spring Romario deep, but Bourgeois is there first, as is Tribbett. It ends up heading back to Sparrow. Romario Williams with token pressure. It ends up in Sparrow's hands, and Nashville SC will try it again here in minute 66.
One of the big questions coming into the year for Nashville was how they would get all of their attacking weapons on the field together. I think that question gets even more complicated with the 3-5-2. However, I think the 3-5-2 gives them the better chance to be a successful club. I think the emergence of Bolo Akinyoti in this formation really helps Nashville have more stability defensively. But when Cameron Lancaster's fully healthy, when Alan Wynn is pushing for time, when Rapapa Mensah is pushing for time, how is Gary Smith going to manage the minutes for so many attacking threats?
Good problem to have if you're Gary Smith when you get to that point.
It is, but if you're pitching clean sheets, it doesn't really matter as long as one of them is finding the back of the net. And Gary Smith is always going to be defensive first. He wants to be secure defensively. Felt like he needed a third center back to do that. It's been paying off. I think that Charleston match was an eye-opener for him that needed a little more security defensively after the Battery took care of business.
That one was 3-1, and then we've seen what happened last week in Pittsburgh, and it's turned around here again tonight in minute 67.
But Pittsburgh was a dominant performance.
Yes.
You can't let the 2-2 make you think that it wasn't a dominant defensive performance. They only allowed one shot on goal.
Right. Castro.
Great work from Castro.
Tries to chip it through Bourgeois, and they're going to call a hand and a card.
Has to be a card.
There it is.
Has to be a card. Might be the face of the week in the USL Championship from Bourgeois as well. But that's an easy card. It's great work from Alessandro Castro, both in possession and combining, and he earns Atlanta a free kick.
In the 67th minute.
Take another look here at that face of the week nomination.
I had one hand out and one hand behind. No way. See, it was just like that.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Nope.
Don't think Giusti was falling for it.
Giusti marking off his 10.
It's about the same distance as it was when we restarted play, about 25 yards from goal. Williams put that one over the bar that time. Let's see if he's found the range on this one.
Luis Fernando looking with the left, Romario looking with the right. Let's see who gets it. Romario tries to go upper 90 over the bar.
Not find the range yet. Too much power there, too high.
I've been keeping an eye on the puddles inside the 18s as we take another peek. But it looks like the drainage here at Fifth Third has been doing pretty well. And those puddles that we saw that were being attacked by the leaf blowers, on one end completely dry and on the other end almost dry.
I'm giving the credit to the leaf blowers.
Yes.
Joseph Samuel will be checking in for Atlanta at the next opportunity. That will be Stephen Glass's final substitution of the night.
Let's see what Glassy wants to is thinking with that particular sub. Let's see what the idea is here
for Castro.
So it is 69 minutes for Alessandro Castro, and Joseph Samuel will come in.
Third and final substitution.
Need to get another front runner on. I mean, Atlanta's going to have to limit the build-up play as the rest of the second half goes on and play over the top. Joseph Samuel is a big body who's got deceptive speed for his size. We saw it last season early in the year. Joseph Samuel had a number of strong performances for Atlanta United too. Injuries really derailed his 2018 season. He's starting to get back fully fit now.
Rios tries to come down with it, can't. Back to Dacus center circle. Campbell
Took a big hop off of his boot, and here comes Belmar. Wyke is on him, closing distance. Dacus is in the middle of the 18. Nicely done by Lawrence Wyke to defend. Akinyoti is there. Kanekimana in pursuit. And it looks like Washington will try to figure out a way with it. LaGrassa. Justin Davis found Akinyoti over on the edge. Nicely done down the wing. Let's see, left foot in with the cut back. Cuts back too much. A lot of spin on the ball, and here comes Atlanta United 2. Joseph Samuel looking behind. Luis Fernando with effort. Samuel and Asayadu going back and forth with it. Big switches there if they want it. He'll hang on to it and give to Joseph Samuel, marked by LaGrassa. Lawrence Wyke. Metcalf sends it in with the right, looking for Samuel over his head. In pursuit. It looks like it's going to be a Nashville throw.
It looked like that one was going to fall right for Joseph Samuel. Better ball in from Jack Metcalf.
Kosuke Kimura taking a couple of minutes. Samuel. Akinyoti got there first. Kimura will bring it down with the left, send it forward. Luis Fernando lost sight of it, goes off of him last. It'll be a throw. And Belmar will think about it, leave it for somebody else. Reminder about the upcoming game of the week here. It is Nashville and Tampa Bay Wednesday, May the 8th on ESPN2. A big clash in the Eastern Conference. USL game of the week. Once again, ESPN2, May the 8th, flag is up. Nashville and Tampa Bay. Wednesday night will be the next time you see the USL Championship on the ESPN family of linear networks.
With that game in mind, I wondered when Gary Smith might turn to the bench to rotate the squad a little bit. Looks like he's preparing a substitution here shortly.
Metcalf back to Campbell. Dacus. Romario tries to turn, gives to Joseph Samuel outside of the cleat, kept in by Luis Fernando. Trying to drive, Samuel had it, pulls it back out. Romario a little deeper now. Akinyoti is there. Asayadu and Campbell again. Kanekimana looking to go on Reed. Left it for Captain Jack. In with the right. Samuel wanted it, didn't get there first. Asayadu thought about it, pulled it back down. Deflected and over the bar. Looks like it's going to be a Creature Comforts corner kick.
Asayadu wanted that with the right foot closed down. He pulls it over to the left and earns the corner. See him, eyes lighting up right there, decides to pull it back. Nice move on Akinyoti to create the space, and it goes off of LaGrassa.
Headed out of there by Tribbett off of the corner. Dacus looking, Tribbett again. Wyke over Rios, and here's Metcalf. Flat, LaGrassa got there first. And they're going to call a foul there on the slide by Lawrence Wyke.
That's smart from Lawrence Wyke because he can't let Nashville break at that opportunity. Atlanta's committed so many numbers forward.
Halfway through minute 74. Alongside Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw. 2 goals for Nashville SC in an 8-minute span have been the difference. Nashville SC with a 2-0 lead on the Stripes here. Last game of their 3-game road trip before they head home. Luis Fernando. A lot of room down the line. LaGrassa finally matches up with him. Back and forth with Joseph Samuel. Asayadu thought about it, came back around. Lawrence Wyke on the spin, over to Campbell. Metcalf. Dacus center circle. Luis Fernando. Trying to send Joseph Samuel, but getting there first was Bourgeois. It'll be a deep throw for the Stripes. Working quickly.
Attempted a little bit of a give and go there. Samuel and Wyke. Luis Fernando gets there. Keep possession for Atlanta United 2.
You just can't give up on anything here. You never know how the ball's going to deflect or skip.
George Campbell getting into the play, looking to spring Conway. Doesn't give up on the play, and look out. Back pocket. And it looks like it's going to be a red for George Campbell. Here's we start minute 76.
We'll take another look at that one here in just a second. Campbell goes in recklessly. Here's our look now. Reed tries to get there to clear. Campbell goes in very strong.
Number 37, George Campbell.
Have to take another look to see if he exposed the studs. It looked like it watching it live. Not quite as sure on that replay. But he went in very, very strong on Michael Reed. Reed is still down. Here's another look. Campbell trying to win that back. And, yeah, he gets to the ball. He does get the ball first. That doesn't give you immunity here.
Okay.
He goes in, studs up at the ball. The reaction from the Nashville players probably helped Giusti a little bit make that decision, but it looked like a red card watching it live.
Yep.
Watching it on replay, I'm not quite as convinced, but it looked like a red live because Campbell went in with excessive force.
Take another look.
Here's a different angle at it. I think he gets the ball. I don't think he connects with Michael Reed. I think Reed, and he's up now on his feet, I think any injury to Michael Reed is from the collision on the ball. It's not from George Campbell making contact with him.
All right, let's take it one more look. Campbell coming in from the left.
It's his left boot that's out, straight leg. Yeah, not sure if he gets Reed's foot. Not sure if he gets the right foot of Reed.
Because we see there in that slow-mo that he got ball first.
But again, that doesn't. Yeah. That's a very important thing, though, because everybody assumes that if you get the ball first, everything's fine, and that's not the case.
No, even on follow-through and things like that on other certain plays, that doesn't absolve you of getting a card in that situation.
Just like if you take a swing at somebody and you miss, you don't get credit for bad aim. You know, if you go in the way that George Campbell did, more often than not, even if you don't make contact, you're going to get a red card there. Reed ginger with the right foot as he's walking off. Not sure if that is from the ball colliding with him or Campbell catching him. But Campbell goes in with excessive force. It's reckless. It's endangering the safety of an opponent, and that's going to see a red more often than not.
Would you have called it orange?
Luckily, you don't have that opportunity. It's one or the other.
Right.
And I thought Giusti handled it really well because there was no wishy-washiness about the decision. He came straight in, and you mentioned it, he was going to the back pocket immediately. That calms the whole situation down so things don't get out of hand.
So Atlanta United 2 will be playing the final 12+ added minutes. A man down, and they've already used all 3 substitutions trying to close the 2-goal gap.
That's one of those that I don't think even if you had a video assistant referee that call would change.
Kimura pokes it forward. Aseyadu is there.
It's a young player in George Campbell trying to make something happen. He had brought the ball forward into the attacking half, trying to keep possession for his squad, just reckless.
Kanakimana, Samuel. Dacus coming forward. Anderson back and forth with Romario, but he gets caught in the puddles, and there's going to be a foul call. Looks like it's going to be on Akinyoti. Giusti getting in there, immediately explaining what was going on.
Not sure what the explanation was on that one. That was some different mannerisms I haven't seen. So Aseydu's battling with Akinyoti, knocks the ball loose. It's studs up. He's not going studs up at Romario Williams. The leg's out. Does it get some of Williams? Yes, I think it does. Little surprised that one got called.
I was thinking maybe principle of verticality.
Whatever that means.
Sorry, in basketball, you know, when you stand up in a block charge situation.
Maybe give Juicy that one for the next explanation.
Romario tries to sprint in, opportunity there, but once again Tribbett will clear it with the outside of his boot. Lawrence White nicely done to try to settle it. Rios is chasing. Give to Dacus.
Tribbett's been excellent marshaling this back line for Nashville. Kanakimana maybe should have been selfish there.
Back to Moore. Sprung forward. Kanakimana with that speed getting past Davis. But Davis shields nicely with the shoulder. Kanakimana not giving up on it. Nicely done by Tribbett. And White got in the middle of it, as did Metcalf. It hit Metcalf last for a throw here in minute 81.
We're getting to see a little bit more of Kanakimana tonight. That was good work from him. You see the speed. He's battling with Davis. Davis gets the position, but Kanakimana, the pressure nearly creates a turnover, and he does not commit a foul in doing so.
Last off Atlanta United 2 again for another throw.
Nashville preparing a couple of substitutions now with the man advantage. We'll see how Gary Smith tries to exploit that.
Rios got it, but Sayadu not giving up on it. Neither is Kanakimana. Davis tries to chip it forward with the left, and he can't. And it looks like here's the substitution opportunities. Lebo Moloto checking in. And it looks like that'll be the evening for Michael Reed.
Reed passing off the captain's armband to Ken Tribbett.
In the 82nd minute, entering the game, number 10.
Having a very long conversation about how to put the armband on and where they might have dinner after the match.
In the game, number 17,
have to make sure that it fits snugly. Just you can't lose it, because this is a really important piece of important piece of garnish.
A lot of time wasting there. Juicy in getting Reed off the field. A lot of conversation as well between Akinyode and Sayadu, who Akinyode might have 5-6 inches on Anderson Sayadu.
Right. Akinyode listed at 6'2". What's the AA listed at 5'7"?
That might be generous.
So that's 7 inches right there.
Anderson Sayadu plays like a much bigger player, though. Kanakimana earns a free kick.
There's Nashville's other sub. It looks like Ropapa Mensah, and that will be it for Carlton Belmar on the evening.
So much time wasting here from Nashville with the man advantage.
That is accurate, sir.
You have the 2-0 lead. It's what you can do. Last time in Pittsburgh, that stoppage time didn't really help Nashville very much. You might just want to play this one out. So Ropapa Mensah, as you hear Gary Smith, he'll be sliding over to the right side.
Dacus now has it halfway through minute 84. Sending it for Samuel. Tribbett got there first. Kimura.
Rios comes in late there. Rios is on a yellow card. Comes in into the back of Wesley Dacus and late. I also wonder if Gary Smith might get Rios out of there as he gets a little frustrated.
There was your look at it.
Caught Dacus in the kidneys, it looked like. Dacus is still holding his back.
Yeah, he's holding it right there in that right kidney, as you were saying.
Yeah, I think Gary Smith would be smart to get Daniel Rios off the field. Frustrated on a yellow card. That's a bad combination.
Throw in flicked. And Nashville SC will start. Sent over the top. Mensah trying to get sprung. And Sayadu.
Nothing there.
Just a bit of a.
Nothing there.
Just buzzing past, and Juicy saying it's a goal kick.
Nothing there. Mensah looking for something that just was not there.
Dacus looking for assistance. LaGrassa on him. Back to Sayadu. Captain Jack. Moloto and Mensah are there. Lost possession of it, out. So it'll be a throw here. Minute 86.
Mensah covering a ton of ground right now with the fresh legs.
Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Atlanta United 2, then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Get reminders on the Stripes' next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your favorite club. Dacus lets that go. Brendan Moore ends up with it. Luis Fernando. LaGrassa on him. Sayadu. Akinyoti was on him briefly. Wyke.
Got to be faster for Atlanta. They don't have time.
Looks like it last hit Conway when Davis tried to send it forward, so it'll be a throw for the visitors, turning minute 87. Gary Smith has one sub left. Doesn't look like he's going to use it yet. Dacus on Rios. Almost got the tightrope to work, but it'll be a throw for the Stripes. Quickly trying to bring it in.
The red card to Campbell really didn't change anything for Atlanta. Wyke drops to the back line just to cover, but Atlanta was going to start committing more numbers forward anyway.
Yeah.
You know, nothing has really changed. They're still able to generate the same type of chances.
Conway settles. Work in the middle. Sayadu is there. Has Luis Fernando to his left. Nicely done to get Akinyoti off his back. Metcalf in with the right. Blocked. Sent into the box. Akinyoti will chest it down. Conway marking him. Last touch by Akinyoti, who wanted a foul called on Conway. Nothing happening. Quick throw to Kanakimana. Bienvenu thinks about it. Both players go to the ground. They're going to call a foul on 2-9 in the home kit. It's going to come the other way.
Not sure about that one. Probably wouldn't have called anything there, to be honest. It looked like both players went in shoulder to shoulder and then both started to lose their footing. I do like what we've seen from Kanakimana tonight, though. We knew he had the speed, but I wanted to see how he would handle pressure and how he'd handle, you know, picking out teammates at the run of in the run of play at speed. It's been solid.
20 minutes in his first appearance. Was brought in basically to run, to try to create opportunities, and we've seen that again tonight as he came in the beginning of the second 45. Not giving up on a ball, and there's a whistle there, and they're going to call a foul on Nashville as Lawrence Wyke tried to possess. Lawrence Wyke will restart in minute 89. Sayadu.
Should be a decent amount of stoppage time.
Joseph Samuel, nicely done. Luis Fernando. Give and go is there. Luis Fernando looking to go on Kimura. Pulls it back. Joseph Samuel thought about it with the right. Sends it across to Captain Jack. Kanakimana looking to drive, launch with the right through everything, and it will be a throw, a very deep throw for Nashville. Kosuke Kimura is not going to be in a hurry.
Caught that with the right to left. Kanakimana was trying to hit that with the laces or even with the outside of the right foot a little bit.
Sent forward, but it ends up with Wyke in the center circle, being chased by Rios. Slip and a miss, and Washington thought about it, but nope, he's not going to chase it either.
Nashville will use that last substitution. They don't get to keep it for later. Another opportunity to run some clock.
Third and final substitution
There's
for
Daniel
Nashville.
Rios. And it will be Alan Wynn coming in
entering the game,
for the
number 19,
remainder.
Alan Wynn. Exiting the game, number 14, Daniel Rios. Once again, number 19 replacing number 14 for Nashville in the 90th minute.
Rios showing so many of his qualities. Not a surprise that he's one of Nashville's first Major League Soccer signings. He is a player who definitely has the full package to be a strong player in MLS.
5 minutes added to the clock. We've had a handful of substitutions and injuries and discussions and things like that. So we're going to go to 5. Luis Fernando trying to go around Kosuke Kimura there. Kimura gets there first, sends it out to kind of slow things down for the Stripes, but it will be a throw.
Kimura's been around a while, but he still might be one of the fittest players in this match.
"34 years of age." I'm just going to go ahead and say 34 years young is Kosuke Kimura. All the way back to Lawrence Wyke, will send it in with the right, looking for Samuel, didn't get there.
That's a handball from Mensah.
So Sayadu will restart quickly. Giusti will let him do it that time. Wyke, and back to Metcalf. Kanakimana. Akinyoti on him. Spins out.
Caught him. Went down late, but he caught him, Akinyoti.
There's a yellow for Akinyoti.
Too quick on the restart again.
Yellow card caution has been issued.
That
by
one
the
wasn't from
referee
anywhere
to
near
Nashville.
where the foul was
Number
either.
30,
So
Akinyoti.
Giusti got that one 100% correct.
Taking a geographic license on reset.
Slightly.
So let's see what Lawrence Wyke has in mind. Kanakimana tries to work with the left and spring Romario, who's there.
Flag
but the
up.
flag is up.
No goal, offside.
Nashville stepped up their line. Kanakimana took an extra touch. Romario Williams made the run a little early. It's an easy decision for the AR. Take another look here. Tried to split the defenders, and he did, but Nashville's line had stepped out, catching Romario Williams offside.
Sayadu, Metcalf, long launch looking for Conway. Sayadu will win that one.
Good use of Sayadu's body there to shield the player off, win it.
Giusti let that one go.
Again, Sayadu is not a big guy, but he knows how to use his strength.
Kanakimana turns.
Great turn.
Akinyoti just goes space. What's he going to do with it? Goes down to the box, nothing there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might need to see that one again.
Lawrence Wyke with the pull just to kind of slow momentum down on Rapapa Mensah there. Let's take a peek.
Kanakimana breaking through into the 18.
Yellow card caution has been issued by the
Not sure if Akinyoti got him or not.
Lawrence Wyke in
I think
stoppage
Akinyoti
time.
was there with the pull early, and then
The pull early was one thing, but I think he might have caught him with the boots. Not enough to make the decision any clearer. Not enough to say that it was an obvious miss. And now Nashville with a free kick near midfield.
White got his head on it first. Brendan Moore is there now.
It's one of those where you see players when they go down, and generally you can see when a player goes down and is looking for a call. That's not how Kanakimana went down. Did not look like he was trying to goad the referee into a decision. Not enough contact to draw the foul, though.
Sent into the box over Conway. Romario is there. Wanted a handball. Kanakimana with the left, and it's through the goal
Sparrow
crease.
with a huge save. One hand from Sparrow, the right hand pushes it wide. Williams laid it off to Kanakimana. Left-footed curler Sparrow with just enough of it to push it wide. That was going into the back of the net.
Fingertips, creature comfort corner kick by Luis Fernando, headed clear. Acedo will wind up and go, hit again.
Deflected.
Deflected. It'll be another creature comforts corner kick, and Luis Fernando will go with a quick reset.
Less than 30 seconds left, but Atlanta wants to put something on the board after a long night here at the ATM.
Sent in with the left. Cleared. Acedo thought about launching it again. Couldn't control it in time, but Luis Fernando does. Kanakimana turns. Conway was there, got caught up in traffic.
Heavy touch from Conway.
Akinyoti is there, and that'll do it. So let's just say it was an interesting evening here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium for a bunch of different reasons. The weather caused a stoppage, 2 goals in an 8-minute span, and Nashville SC ends up with 2 points after getting through a second 45 minutes and a weather delay.
It's a good performance from Nashville SC. Gary Smith's crew learned some lessons last week where they took a 2-0 lead and couldn't hold it against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They held it tonight. Bolo Akinyoti with a strong performance.
When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show. We'll give you highlights and take a peek at the schedules coming up down the road and what else is going on. You're watching the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw. Nashville gets out of here with full points, and that puts them up at 14. They're now 4-2-2 on the season. Atlanta United 2 with the loss. They are now at 3-5-1 at 10 points in the ladder. And the post-match conversations continue.
A little bit of respect earned. Anderson Sayadu.
No doubt.
Rookie year for him as a professional. Bolo Akinyoti, Lebo Maloto, 2 veterans at this level. Take a look at the stats. 10 shots for Atlanta United 2. Only 2 on target, and one of those was very, very late. Dominated possession, did not create the number of chances and the quality of chances that you had to. Nashville didn't create a ton, but they created enough, and they took advantage of mistakes from Atlanta United 2 to punish them and take the 2-0 win.
Experience side from Gary Smith as they are here in the USL Championship, and they are now working their way up to the top part of the standings here in the East. You know, you look at this, you end up with what else is going on in the USL Championship. After this match, Atlanta United 2, they're on the road for their next 3, whereas Nashville was wrapping up their 3-game road trip themselves.
It had been a difficult road trip for them as well. It went to Charleston, gave up 3 goals, which was a big, eye-opener for Nashville SC. They rebounded with a strong performance in Pittsburgh, even better tonight, and they get back home.
Nashville's 3-game road trip ends up on a winning note. Get 2 in the first half, and that's all she wrote for them. Next up for Atlanta United 2 is a game at Bethlehem Steel in Chester, PA. Next Sunday, you'll be able to watch that on ESPN Plus as well. Game 1 of 3, their next home match won't be until June the 7th. So the 4th was definitely with Nashville SC tonight. An own goal in the 4th and a goal by Matt LaGrassa in the 12th gives them full points here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. For Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. Thanks for hanging out with us on a longer evening than normal. You've been watching the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.